Welcome to the Real Estate Show on WGBF AM with your host, Charlie Butler. This is where you'll learn to sell your home quickly and for more money. And now, the host of the Real Estate Show, the guy who guarantees to sell your home or he'll buy it himself, Charlie Butler.
Good morning, Tri-State. This is the Charlie Butler Real Estate Show, and I'm here this Sunday morning, as I am every Sunday morning, with Evie Barr.
Good morning, Charlie.
Evie of course, from Waterstone Mortgage.
I thought you were going to say Evie's from Boonville.
Well, you are from Boonville.
I am from Boonville. Lived there for 30 some odd years and born and raised. Yeah, that's where I get my redneck from.
Can I? Well, I'm not even going there. Okay.
Thank you.
Can I tell you a little fact about Boonville? It surprised me. Boonville, and Christina Rhodes is sitting over here too from FC Tucker and Make-A-Wish, and Christina may know this also. Boonville has the lowest days on the market.
Really?
Yes.
People in Boonville are very loyal. They want to stay there. They love living in their community, and when something comes on the market, it's usually gone pretty quick.
Well, and in my mortgage loan officer mind, I'm wondering if it's because Boonville is USDA eligible. So
sure
if
that
someone
helps.
has low down payment or no down payment, any property in Boonville would be eligible for the USDA rural development loan.
So for people that don't know, I mean, you talk about no down payment is going to get people looking at buying a house.
Yes.
Obviously, is going to get them interested. So how do I qualify, Evie?
You can give me a call at 812-463-3199. But we take an application. With the USDA loan, you need a minimum credit score for us of 600. And then also there are income limits, but the income limits are based on the size of your household. So, husband, wife, kids, the more in your household, the higher the income limit is going to go.
And your debt to income ratio, I remember this from doing a lot more residential back in the day. Your debt to income ratio can only be a certain amount, correct?
Yeah, usually they like to keep it.
And what is, just for people listening, I say stuff like that, then I realize some people don't have any idea what I'm talking about.
Yes.
What is debt to income ratio?
So your debt to income ratio, whenever we pull your credit report, we're going to take the minimum monthly payments that show up on the credit report for any open accounts. We're going to total those. Plus, we're going to add in what the new housing payment is. So the principal, interest, property taxes, homeowners insurance on a monthly basis, and mortgage insurance, you have it. We're going to total those with the payments on your credit report, divide it by your monthly income. That's your debt to income ratio. The USDA, they like to keep that debt to income ratio around 41%. Depending on the situation, we might be able to go a little bit higher. It's going to be on a case-by-case basis, though.
This has probably been 15 years ago. I had somebody, and at the time it was 41.5. And I knew the director of the USDA in this area at the time, and I called Wayne, and this lady was 41.7. And strangely enough, this was in Boonville. Okay, and I said, "What can we do about this, Wayne?" And he'd always been real good working with me. He said,
"Yes,
we can get to 41.5." And they weren't willing to budge that much.
Yeah.
I'm going back several years. Turned out when we went back, the mortgage broker had not included her. She was a manager at a business there.
Yes.
Had not included her bonuses in there. And once her bonuses were included in there, it got her down, and she was able to get the house.
Yes.
But maybe are they more flexible? I guess what I'm asking, are they more flexible now, Evie?
It depends on things that we call compensating factors. So, a compensating factor might be that you're married and your spouse is not on the loan for whatever reason, but the spouse has good monthly income coming in. A compensating factor might also be, that you've got what we would call reserves in the bank. So that's the money that is still going to be in the bank after we close. There's different little things that you look at on a case-by-case basis that, it might cause some adjustments in the normal straight guidelines. One thing that I do really like about being in Indiana is with the USDA Rural Development Loan, each state has their own contacts that you can get in touch with if you have questions. And Indiana's is always so responsive. A lot of people say, oh, it's going to take 45 to 60 days to close a USDA loan because the lender has to completely underwrite the file, and then we're required to send it to the USDA for them to review it. In Indiana, the USDA's turnaround times recently might be 2 days, 3 days. So it really shouldn't take 45 or 60 days to close a USDA loan. I recommend putting 45 days on a purchase agreement just to give us a little extra time, but we usually close them a whole lot quicker.
But this isn't available only in Boonville, though.
No. Really, in southern Indiana, it's open everywhere except pretty much Evansville city limits and Newburgh city limits. If it's on the outskirts of Evansville or Newburgh, if a person has a property address, we can always look it up on the USDA's website to see if it's eligible. I know where the lines are currently, but
like Boonville to Harmony Road, isn't it? Something like that?
Yeah, the map's always changing. So, and especially with as populated as the northern part of Vanderburgh County is going to be, if it keeps on growing, I foresee that map changing. But it's all the areas that are eligible are all based on population density because it's a rural development loan. So they want it to be a less populated area.
So, and also much of Newburgh no longer works. So years
Correct.
ago, used to we could do Newburgh.
Yes.
We do. They did more by counties.
Yes.
But also those of you that are listening that are in Fort Branch or Princeton
Yes.
or Owensville. Or,
Mount Vernon.
Yeah. Cynthiana. Poseyville. I'm just going to keep naming towns, Christina.
Richland, Rio.
Yeah.
Santa Claus.
It all counts. Tell City. It all
Yes.
counts. So, we have referred to Christina a couple times. We've got Christina Rhodes with us today from Make-A-Wish and FC Tucker. Good morning, Christina.
Good morning. I'm glad to be back.
It's great to have you back. We are going to get to your subject in a minute, but I've got to tell my favorite Christina Rhodes story first. Okay?
You're going to embarrass her right off the bat, aren't you?
Happy Sunday.
Stop.
Would you rather I embarrass you? Okay.
No, it's Christina's turn.
Okay, that's what I say. I've got one on you too. So if you want me to stop, I can just move right on.
I'll back away.
Okay. No, Christina and I have known each other a long time. Well, we've known each other probably since I've known you since you got in the business, 2000. So about 17 years. And Christina started. I was at the Realty Group when Christina started, and she trained with someone else. They were both young, and Christina's still young, and still young and beautiful as always. But another young lady named Susan Pearson, who unfortunately passed away several years ago from a suddenly and unexpectedly, and a real tragedy. But anyway, Susan and Christina had kind of got through the training, and we were, for those that remember, the Realty Group was on the east side of Evansville, and they wanted to celebrate. It was in the early afternoon. They got through the training. So they wanted to go to Hacienda, but they thought, well, people may see us here on the east side.
Right.
They were going to have a margarita to celebrate.
Sure.
So they thought, we'll go to the west side Hacienda. Well, they were new, and they weren't thinking that Wayne Ellis, that owned the company,
Yes.
had an office on the west side.
And I need to correct you. We were not celebrating. So Susan and I had been in the business 6 or 7 months. And honestly, we were a little disillusioned. We really thought that this real estate thing was going to be a lot different than our current reality.
Yeah,
just wasn't quite getting it. And so we weren't really celebrating. Okay. We were more commiserating.
Okay. So, tell them. So, did Wayne walk in with clients, with other people from the Realty Group?
I can't remember. But, once again, we were a little disillusioned, not really sure this whole real estate thing and how it was going to work. And we thought that it probably was not a good idea for us to go have margaritas at Hacienda during the middle of a workday.
Sure.
We thought people would frown on that. And so we decided, because we are so smart, that we're going to go to the west side where nobody will know where we are.
So how many margaritas in were you whenever you saw Wayne?
Well, we had just gotten maybe our first picture.
Okay.
Okay, so Wayne walks in, and Susan and I take our menus, and the menus go up. But Wayne was on to us immediately.
And Wayne called. I'm sure he called Mike Reeder too. He called me. I'm sure he called anybody that he could let know that he'd you know how Wayne is. He always anybody seen my picture on Facebook recently of my did you see it? Wayne put that back out there for my 50th birthday party here a couple weeks ago.
I didn't see that.
That was from several years ago, unfortunately now. But they surprised me at Wayne and about 13 other friends surprised me at Mike Shannon's in St. Louis. Oh. My wife and I have been to a Cardinal game. My wife was in on it. So
you go to Cardinals games?
Every once in a while.
Okay.
But they surprised Mike Shannon's. It's gone now. A real high end restaurant, and walk in there. They all are. And so Wayne's got this dress and a wig for me. And he put a picture on Facebook of it the other day.
That's awesome.
But anyway, for those that think that Wayne Ellis is a nice man, he is an evil practical joker. Okay, and I hope
every day is April Fool's Day for Wayne.
In fact, Wayne will. That's when he got me, was April Fool's Day. Which I told him, I said, I'm surprised at you because he's always told me April Fool's Day was amateur day to him. So he didn't do anything. He said, because only the amateurs go on April Fool's Day. The pros do it all year round.
Oh, yeah.
So
after 17 years in the business, I've learned that one of the great things about real estate is, yes, you can kind of make your own schedule. And if you feel it's appropriate to take a break in the middle of a work day during the week, then that is okay because, you're going to make up for it on the weekend when everybody else is off.
Yes.
And there was absolutely no reason for Susan and I to feel embarrassed or humiliated because it was perfectly fine.
Yes.
What is that old saying in real estate? What's a great thing about Sunday? Just one more day to Monday.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're working Saturday and Sunday.
Just one more day left in the work week.
Yeah.
Yep.
And but now that I've tried to embarrass you,
thank you. I appreciate that.
Anyway, we'll talk about Evie's earring back later, but that's a whole nother story. But we're not here. We're here mainly to talk about Make-A-Wish.
Yes, one of my second favorite thing after real estate, of course.
Yeah. So Christina. I interrupted. I'll just let you take off, and then we'll interject something as we go.
Okay. Well, Make-A-Wish grants wishes to children with life-threatening illness, and I've been a volunteer for Make-A-Wish since 2000, and I have been the president of our local board of directors for the last 5 or 6 years. And we're really, really wanting to increase awareness in our community about Make-A-Wish and what we do, and that we're right here working hard for our area families. And our goal is to grant a wish to every eligible child.
So how's the goal? I've been involved off and on over the years with you. Served on the first board, which they thought we were crazy. I remember when we did it, but we did it because Christina was so much the driving force of that. It was she drugged the rest of us along. We just did whatever Christina said. We were there. Me and Jim Sangren and John Schneider and I forget and several others. And I apologize for those that I'm not mentioning. But how do you feel right now? How do you feel the progress is going for Make-A-Wish now?
We have made great strides. And the one thing I'm most proud of is when I first became a volunteer in 2000, I think we granted 7 wishes to children in southwest Indiana, which is the 4 or 5 counties in the tip of Indiana.
Right.
Last year, we granted 56.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So as far as awareness, we're making that happen. People are understanding that we're here. People are asking questions and want to learn more about Make-A-Wish. The biggest misconception we have is that it is a terminal illness, and that is absolutely untrue. It is a life-threatening illness, something that affects the child's ability to be a normal kid. You know, many of the children that we serve will recover from or learn to manage their illness and lead very normal, long, healthy lives, just like everybody else. You know, we're there for that time in their life when they need a little pick-me-up. They need to see light at the end of the tunnel. You know, and Make-A-Wish motivates them, and that promise of a wish and something to look forward to pushes them in the right direction. So they're compliant with their doctors, they're compliant with their medical needs, and they do what they need to do to get better.
And in fact, I remember when we first started the Southwest Indiana Board, to back up what you said, there was a girl came in, it was a daughter of one of the members, and we'll leave names out here, but she was in college and she had been granted a wish when she was younger. Mm-hmm. You know who I'm talking about.
I do.
But she's doing very well.
Yeah. Yep. And, you know, Make-A-Wish is so impactful. It really does. It can change the trajectory of that child's life. And not only that child, but the whole entire family. And in some cases, the whole entire community.
And before you say anything, you're listening to the Charlie Butler Show on News Talk 1280 WGBF. And I'm here with Evie Barr from Waterstone. And, of course, Christina Road from Make-A-Wish and FC Tucker, and I guess I should say the Mike Reeder team too. I hate to give Mike any publicity.
Well, sure, he's a good guy. He deserves a little bit.
I know. Hello, Mikey. But you've got one of your bigger fundraisers for this area coming up, don't you, Christina?
We do. So the next 60 days is the busiest part of our year. So on May 22nd at Evansville Country Club, we have our 8th annual golf outing. And we are so blessed. This community steps up when there's a need. And, you know, they never fail to overwhelm me with their support. It's a great day of golf at Evansville Country Club. You do not need to be a member of Evansville Country Club to play in our event. So it's a great course. If it's not something you get to do all the time, you can come enjoy the course with us. Enjoy a day of mediocre golf. I would love to say great golf, but mediocre golf.
Hard course.
Yeah. Drinks, lunch, and there'll be kids out. It is just a really fun day. And then this is our second year for what we're calling Cottages for Kids, and that runs in partnership with the Parade of Homes. So that's from June 3rd to June 11th, and it's something we're really excited about.
So I think the golf event kind of stands on its own, and but before we leave the golf event, is there anything you want to say about the golf event, about how people can participate? You know.
Absolutely. We still have spots available. We have a few spots available for foursomes to play. But if you're interested, you know, call us sooner rather than later, because we are over half full and we still have 6 weeks to the event. And
Christina, do they call you, or who do they call?
Yeah, they can call me, 812-305-3914.
Now, if you have real estate questions, call
812-305-3914.
No, Christina's great, and you know so again, 812-305-3914
Yes.
will get you Christina. And if you want to be a whole sponsor, if you want to play in a foursome, I mean, this is, guys, I can't tell you what a great cause this is.
And you know, honestly, you know, we want to be a win-win for everybody. You know, we want it to be a win, of course, for Make-A-Wish, but we really try to give our sponsors an opportunity for success as well. And to be at Evansville Country Club with our leaders, our community networkers, our community business owners, it is a great opportunity for your company to have some exposure with a really influential group of people.
Do you want to mention some of the sponsors who have committed at this point?
Our presenting sponsor this year is Evansville Surgical Associates, First Federal Savings Bank, Old National Bank, St. Mary's, Deaconess, Regional Title Company. We've got a great list of you know, great community champions that support us.
I don't think you mentioned, but I mean, it's fair. Even though they're a competitor, FC Tucker, I think she's
absolutely,
also a sponsor.
Yeah.
Yes, and I think you said Liquor Locker was one of the...
Liquor Locker.
Yep.
You know, and I love these companies because they're invested in our community. And I think that's why they are successful. You know, they want to build their business by helping the community grow and be better.
Yes.
So, cottages for kids.
Oh, so much fun.
So, and it looks like, I mean, I'll be honest, I haven't been involved hardly any except talking to you and seeing Rob Cahill on Facebook as that went, and Rob was really into that project, I know.
Yes. So being a real estate broker, I've been looking for a project that somehow merges real estate with Make-A-Wish for a long time. And we came across this opportunity, and people in the community build children's playhouses. And these children's playhouses will be on display during the Parade of Homes from June 3rd to June 11th. And you can buy a ticket to put in a bucket to win one of these playhouses. At the end of the 10-day parade event, we will deliver this playhouse to your backyard for your children to play on. And of course, all the money that we raise goes directly to Grant Wishes, the children in our community.
And I was amazed because the cottages are not little. I mean, whenever I started seeing pictures of the ones from last year, I was pretty amazed by how big they were and just how detailed from the fireman one. And I mean, they were so cute. And those sponsors that put the cottages together, I mean, they're so detailed in the work that they do for them.
They turned out great. And this year we've got AMR is building a cottage. Scott Township Fire is building a cottage. The Carpenters Union this year is building 3 cottages.
Oh, wow.
And they are going to be over the top, detailed, incredible, amazing. Rob Cahill is in again this year for another cottage.
Yeah. And we'll give Rob a free plug because he has done so much. For those that Rob is the owner of National Inspections Service, and does a great job in home inspections. So give Rob a call. We don't have his phone number handy, but you can find him online.
Yeah, and this year we're going to be in Newburgh. We'll be the same hours as Parade of Homes, so Saturdays from 1 to 6, weekdays from 5 to 8, and you can come out with your kids. You can play on the cottages. Of course, I'm going to ask you to buy at least one ticket, one ticket for $10 or 3 for $25. But like Evie said, I mean, they're nice size. I mean, they're big enough for a regular size adult. They're 8 by 10. They're going to be 10 or 11 feet tall, and your kids will get hours and hours of entertainment out of it.
And if they win the cottage does get delivered to the family's home. They don't have to worry about getting a truck or a trailer.
No. We have got a great team of transportation guys between Feller and Tri-State Towing and Medic on Site and Bobcat who make it possible for us to transport the cottages from place to place.
Now, if somebody's listening and they're like, that sounds like a good project for a group or an individual, there are still spots open for cottages.
Yes,
though,
I
correct?
have 2 spots open still. And once again, call me 812-305-3914. We're going to have a great group of builders, and I'm just so excited for this year's event.
It sounds really neat. And I remember when you and I worked together when we were at Realty Group several years ago. I'm thinking it was, maybe I'm wrong. Correct. I think it was in the Jasper area. Didn't someone have a wish for a tree house?
She did. And she was a girl who knew exactly what she wanted because she just didn't want a tree house. Yeah. We needed building permits, and we had to get architects and structural engineers and all this stuff involved. So yeah, but she got her tree house. She did. We never say no unless for some reason they are not medically able to handle their wish. The answer is always yes, which is a really fun spot to be in.
And
there's such a wide range of wishes that you have talked about being grand to kids. I mean, I always think of kids wanting to go to Disney or to Hawaii or swim with dolphins, but there's one, and I'm sorry, I can't remember who it is. I want to say he's a college student here locally now, but there was something that he did for his wish, and it shaped what he's doing today.
Yeah, so when I said that Make-A-Wish can potentially change the trajectory of someone's life, his wish was to go to Pearl Harbor. And, of course, the benefit was that happens to be in Hawaii.
Sure.
So he got to enjoy a nice family vacation in Hawaii. But as a result of his wish, he became really fascinated with World War II. And he is now a sophomore or junior in college, and his major is World War II history. And so that changed him and shaped what he's going to end up being.
You know, that made me think of a painting that I still have that I always knew when Christina and I were in the same office, because, you know, the way she said Charlie was always different when she came in the office. It was like, you know, it was so pitiful. Like, you know, I mean, if I didn't give her this check, I mean, it just wasn't going to, and she would not leave. It's like, okay, I want you, if you'll leave so I can get back to work, you know, I'll give you a check, okay?
I have a gift. I really do.
But I have a painting of, and I don't remember.
Logan Summers.
Logan.
Yep.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
Rod Summers stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Of dolphin that when he was swimming with the dolphins.
Yes. And you talked about that the last time Christina was on.
He painted that for me.
Yes. And then I was like, really? Because Logan is my brother-in-law's nephew. Is the best way to put it. So, you know, I mean, so many kids in this area, you know, have been touched by Make-A-Wish. It's pretty amazing what you guys do.
Well, Evie, you often talk about NASCAR.
Yes.
I know you're a big NASCAR fan. Well, and I don't know as much about today's drivers, and Christina, you know, you could enlighten me on which one, but Dale Earnhardt Sr., who was always supposed to be so mean, you know, was a huge proponent of Make-A-Wish. And, you know, that they tell a story, tell many stories about him, but one where the child was, you were talking about they weren't able, and the child had to be brought in an ambulance. And Dale Earnhardt Sr. said, and made sure that he was going to be okay. He said, just leave us alone. And he took him in his hauler, and they said, you know, and talked to him for like an hour.
Wow.
And, you know, that was the kid's wish, was to meet Dale Earnhardt Sr. And his parents tell the story. Unfortunately, you know, the child in this case did pass away.
Right.
But they said in the next few days, Federal Express boxes just kept coming.
Wow.
She said, we still have everything imaginable. Dale Earnhardt,
awesome.
jackets, shirts, everything that his organization just kept sending. You know, and he would call and check. But so some of these guys are supposed to be big and tough, and Christina knows these stories better than I, you know, also are very good about, you know, when it comes to kids.
Yeah, those big tough guys always have big hearts. Just have to get to them, pull it out. Yeah.
If a family has a child that, you know, is looking to have a wish grant, is there a local Make-A-Wish office that they need to contact, or do they contact you?
They can contact me. We have a brick and mortar building in the state. It's in Indianapolis. You know, we're not for profit, so we want every dollar we raise to go directly to the program. So we try to keep our overhead costs as low as possible. So our one brick and mortar office is in Indianapolis.
Well, except of course for your elaborate salary that you get from Make-A-Wish.
There is no salary involved. Can you believe that?
you're getting as paid. You're getting as paid as well as a job Evie almost got fired at earlier. So
you know, Make-A-Wish is so inspiring, and for anybody who has ever given back to any organization, I really feel like I get just as much, if not more, by being a part of Make-A-Wish.
Yeah.
We're down to a minute to go. Christina, I know we've hit some broad strokes today on, is there anything as far as, especially the immediate needs, you know, with the golf outing coming up, with the colleges for kids coming up, is there anything else that we need to hit that we haven't hit?
I want to say that the driving force behind these events, of course, to raise funds. So I mentioned earlier that we granted 57 wishes last year, and we're on target to do that, if not more, this year. The average cost of a wish is $8,000. That's a lot of money that we need to raise. Our ultimate goal as a local board is to be able to financially support all of our wishes. And any shortfall currently comes from Indy and other fundraising efforts on a national and statewide basis. But really, our goal is to be able to personally support all of our local wish kids. And, you know, we still have a lot of work to do there. So, you know, please come out to our events. If you don't want to participate in an event, there's lots of other ways to give. And just call me to learn more about how you can get involved.
Christina Rhodes, as always, it was a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Evie, we got to go.
Okay.
And Evie Barr, Christina Rhodes, this is Charlie Butler. Have a great Sunday.
You've been listening to The Real Estate Show on WGBF AM with the guy who guarantees to sell your home or he'll buy it himself, Charlie Butler. Join us every week at this time to find out how to sell your home quickly and for more money. For more information, email cbutler@kw.com or visit charliebutlerteam.com.